Hey everybody, we are currently looking at the cheapest duplex on the market in Cache Valley. So this is a Logan duplex. I've got it pulled up right here. First few impressions. I haven't looked at this at all yet, so we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. We've got really cool look. I like that old architecture. We've got a timestamp on the photo, 2/21/19. So this is a pretty recent photo. Roof looks, from what we can see, in good condition. Let's notice here that there are no interior photos, so that's something to consider. Could be either because it's tough to get in there with the tenants or because it's a problem. So we've got currently 15 days on market. I know I'm late to the game in looking at this one. I just didn't really see a lot. I saw it pop up, but I never looked at the property. So taxes are $1,074. I like to first look at a few things here. We've got 2 units on just under a quarter acre, which is pretty big. The location here is 3rd North and 356 East, so a quarter acre right there is actually pretty big. That's in the Adams area, just below campus and just outside of downtown. So I like this. I love renting in that area. I've got rental properties there, and I started out in the Adams area, so it's good. Let's see. Don't bother tenants. Both units are rented. Verbal lease month to month. Yeah, I'll bet the rents are really low. They don't have any rent listed here. I'll bet they're real low. We've got the heirs have no knowledge of the condition of this property. So yeah, it's this happens a lot actually, where you've got like an estate sale or estate situation where the parents rented it out for forever. Once they've passed, the kids just don't care about real estate, don't know how to manage it. So they've got it up right now for $220, which is really good. Total 4-bed and 2 bathrooms. We don't know, because the agent hasn't given it here. She's got 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom on 1 unit, so we don't really know if that's accurate. I'm guessing that's just a guess on her part. 900 square feet there, where the total square footage is 1454. So whether we've got 3 bedrooms on the main floor and then 1 in the basement, or we've got it says front and rear here, so potentially there's around back. Without photos, we really can't know until we go see it. But total 4 bedroom, total 2 bathrooms, so I'm guessing 1 bathroom in each unit, and 3 in 1 is the most likely for this age of a property built in 1903. It's a house that was converted to a duplex. They just happened to be able to get it to work as a duplex, but you'd have the 3-bedroom unit and 1-bedroom unit. So if I were to analyze here on the price, so $220 for a duplex on its face sounds good. We don't know what sort of work is needed on the inside. Yeah, it's probably in pretty rough shape on the inside, is my guess. They're not letting people through. I just saw in the comments here, they're not letting people go through until they get an accepted offer. Oh, I also just noticed here on the remarks, subject is zoned NR6, 1 family or 3 unrelated persons per unit. So what this actually says is that there are 2 units and you can have 3 people per unit. What I'm guessing the agent means here is that it's zoned as a 1 unit. It's zoned just as a house with a mother-in-law apartment, which Logan City doesn't actually recognize mother-in-law apartments. So even though she's saying here that per unit you get 3 and you've got 2 units, I'm guessing that it's only 3 total. That's part of the reason why I think the price is so low. But it's a good rental, for students. So if you were to do 2 students in 1 unit and 1 student in the other unit, or just individual persons, they don't have to be students, but you'd rent it out by the room essentially. You could still get for the main unit, I'm guessing it'll probably max out at about $900 a month, and for the other unit, I would say $650. Just totally guessing on the interior, but $650, $700 if you went in and redid a bunch. So what would that make it? 650 plus 900, so we'd be looking at 1550 or 1600 per month. For $220,000, that's pretty good. If we were to take 220 and divide that by, we'll say 1600 in one of the better case scenarios, 137 of a GRM, gross rent multiplier, 137.5, which is pretty good. For a duplex, that's actually cheaper than most duplexes are trading for right now. In Logan, you'd be looking at 160 or above for a good duplex that has so the GRM would be 150 or above. So this is priced pretty well. Who would be a good tenant for this? Somebody who wants to owner occupy, because if you owner occupied it, you'd only have to put 3% down. So we're looking at, let's just do a quick scenario here. I said probably 3.5% really. Let's do 3.5% down, $7,700 to get into the property. 4.5% interest rate, which is actually pretty close right now. You could probably get lower, but it'll end up being, APR end up being close to 4.5. So here's your P&I, taxes and insurance, total monthly payment of $1,400.71. That's if you rented out both units. So for the first year you live in it, move out, rent out the other unit, and you'd be getting $1,400, or you'd be paying $1,400.71. Compare that to the $1,600 that we were talking about. Really, it's not a cash flowing deal because we're not counting vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures, which would be like a future replacement of the roof, water heater. I'm guessing there's not air conditioning on this property, most likely not air conditioning, and we don't know what the furnace is like. Heating is not listed here. I don't think the agent's actually been in the property. But if it's a furnace, then maybe we could replace the furnace and add an AC. If it's a boiler, then you can't really do central air. So anyway, that's just the first look at it. I would be interested to see inside this property, but we can't do it without an offer. I think that the price is worth it, honestly. Just guessing at the condition, I think it's in kind of rough condition, but I think it's priced for that. 220 is really low and a really good deal right now for multifamily. So anyway, that's the cheapest duplex on the market.